this is what I want to share with you all today. It deals with workflows a little bit that we've been speaking about. I want to talk with you just briefly about customizing your Zoho system with Deluge. And I was excited about some of the questions that some of you were asking, Scott, especially when you mentioned holidays. I'm going to deal with some of that here today. Basically, Deluge is a coding language that you can use to program your Zoho services to have features and functionality that you never thought possible. You can create very, very powerful automations with Deluge. I want to show you some things that I've created today, and then I'm going to take you through a brief yet somewhat detailed example of how we used the Deluge coding language in the Zoho services to create some pretty powerful automations for our business. And definitely, if you have questions, ask. At the end, I'm going to give you my contact information, as I've started to do a little bit of consulting with this. And if you just want to talk about with me about what you're wanting to do in your Zoho suite of software, I would love to chat with you about that. So first of all, just briefly, with the Deluge coding language, which is a pretty simple language to learn, but even if that's doesn't really fit in your schedule to do that, the great thing about Deluge is because it is simple and easy to use. Even if you choose to pay someone to create some functionality for you, it is a lot less expensive than trying to develop software from scratch. It's really a pretty great coding language. With Deluge, I created our sales process, our support process, our whole internal network alert system that watches our internal network. I created we created an integration with our inventory and shipping system. And I am just finishing up an integration with some proprietary software that we sell at ScaleTech. And what I'm going to show you today is a texting system that we created. So just a little bit about this texting system, why this was a big deal for us. And I should have presented this a little bit differently, but it's good enough. It'll work fine for right now because I know we don't have a whole lot of time, so I don't want to waste a whole lot of time on this. But our customers don't email. We're in the agricultural industry, and typically when farmers are out in the field and they're working on their equipment, they're just not going to sit down and shoot us an email. Our customers text. And so we were having significant issues because our customers would text, but they wouldn't necessarily text the correct number. They wouldn't necessarily text the agent that they had spoke with last. They would not, and here I'm going to shift how I'm doing this a little bit here. I just want to get to this here. They would not text the right person. They would not, they didn't remember who they had spoke to last, who had helped them. There's a cost with external texting systems, which is definitely worth it. And there are some excellent texting systems that integrate with Zoho, but we already pay for a phone system. And so we just didn't like the idea of having to pay for another phone system just to send a text. And we had a lot of company numbers. And so customers would, you never knew what number they were going to call or text when they're out in the field. It could be any number. And so we had some real problems with customers wanting to text us and the right person or the right department getting that text with the speed that you would expect a text to be received at. We had some real problems. And so what I did is I developed a texting functionality, a whole texting machine that I'm going to show you today that automates this entire process. This system has a lot of built-in intelligence so that a customer can text any company number that they happen to have on their phone, and the text will get to the right agent in the right department every time. It's a pretty in-depth process, and at least in my opinion, it's pretty impressive what it will do. So let me just demonstrate this for you. I have a sample ticket pulled up here where I am the customer. This is sort of an experimental customer that we have. And over here, I have just a simple Google Voice texting system. And so we're going to pretend that I am the customer. And what I am going to do as the customer is I am texting our main company number. I don't know if you guys have customers that do that. Usually your main company number is not really for receiving text, but our customers would do that. And it was a little bit annoying to us, but in our thought process, we could either get our customers to change and learn our system and learn how to text the right person or learn how to call the right department, or we could change to meet our customers' needs better. And since customer service is our number one mission in our business, we realized we needed to change and be able to roll with the punches and do whatever our customers are needing, kind of meet our customers where they're needing to meet us. So let's say I've got a customer cell phone right here, and they're going to text us, and we're just going to do this sample text so that we all know. I'll put some letters at the end so you know this is the text sending from the customer's phone. They send that to us. Now, they send it to the main company number. That is completely the wrong number. They didn't send it to the support line or to that agent that they had worked with. They just sent it to the main company number. Here is a ticket that we're using for that customer with helping them solve an issue that they're having. And look at this. The text came right through to their support ticket. So if you're not used to, if you haven't used Zoho Desk, that's the software that I'm looking at here. Arun earlier referred to cases in the CRM. If you only use the CRM, this would be kind of like the cases module, but Zoho Desk is a lot more in depth than the cases module in the CRM. It is a whole support software suite. And so that's what we use for our cases or our tickets or our support incidents that we have with customers. And I just wanted to show you that that text that came from our customer landed right in the ticket. And it says Troy Titus, because that's the name of the customer. In that case, it's also my name. Sent the following text. And if they have any pictures, those are going to be found under attachments right here. This is huge for us because in our line of work, when a customer is out in the field and they're texting us, it's because something went wrong and they have a problem. And if they're laying under their tractor with a bunch of wrenches out in the field, they're not happy. And they're taking pictures of the problem and they're asking us for help. And so this way we can see those pictures and we can see the text, even if they text the wrong phone number. It wouldn't matter if they texted one of our agents at their direct line. It doesn't matter if they text a company number, if they text the sales department, that's going to end up right here in their ticket. Let's say we want to respond back. Our agents have a couple different options. Let's say the customer actually texted the correct agent, and so the agent has that text on their phone. And this is, we use Ring Central for our company phone number, so the agent would be seeing this text. I'm not talking about their personal phone, of course. I'm talking about their business phone. That agent would have that text in their Ring Central phone or the Ring Central app. They could respond to the customer from the Ring Central app, and that response would land right here in the ticket without the agent having to find the ticket, enter the text. The entire record of support with that customer is going to be recorded here in the ticket. Let's say, however, as happens many times with us, the customer texts us, but they text a company number, so it didn't appear on the agent's phone. They can come right here in the ticket itself and they can text a response. And they have a couple choices, and we could have gone crazy with this, but we didn't need to for our particular business purposes. We just wanted to give our agents the option do you want this text to come from your direct line, your direct Ring Central line, or do you want that to come from a company number? Do you not want the customer to have your direct line for, whatever reason? And they can choose this. I'm going to say, yeah, I want this to come from my direct line. I'm going to send this response. I just save it, and that response is automatically sent to our customer. We come back over to our customer's cell phone here, and in a moment, they will receive a response. It'll take a few moments for that to appear, but that customer is going to get a response in their cell phone, and we can text back and forth if we want from the ticket to the customer and carry that whole conversation back and forth that way. We don't ever have to use our phone if we don't want to. Let's say, however, that we got a text, but the customer actually wanted to speak with the sales department. All we have to do is when the text comes in, it can create another ticket. If our support team sees it, all they have to do is move that ticket over to the sales department, and they're done. They don't have to do anything else. They don't have to notify the sales department. They don't have to text the customer back and tell them, well, you need to call this number for the sales team. I don't think customers like to have to call several numbers before they get the right person. They just move this ticket to the sales department, and a task is created for our sales team that I'm going to show you over here in our CRM. Move my little screen sharing thing there. Those tasks get created right here in the activities module. And you can see this is our actual activities module. Our sales team is really kicking it today, and they've just about wiped out all their activities. But it will create an activity for them saying, hey, here was a customer who texted us. They're needing they're wanting to talk with the sales team, not the support team. Could you help them out? And the sales team will take it from there. The opposite will also happen. Let's say a customer texts us. And by the way, just so you can see it, it came through on my cell phone. The app for Google Voice is a little bit slower than the cell phone version, so you don't see the text response, but I already got a ding on my cell phone that the response we sent from the ticket has already come in. So back to the activities. Let's say a customer texts us, and the system evaluates where that text needs to go, and it notices this customer doesn't have any open support tickets with us, but they do have an open quote. Instead of sending that text to the support team, it's going to send the text right here in the activities module to the sales team, and it will say, hey, this customer you've been working with, you sent this quote to, they just texted you, here it is. If the customer texted the sales agent, then it does not need to create an activity. We could have it do that, but in our business process, that just wasn't necessary. They got it to the right person, so we don't need to create an activity for the whole sales team. Let's say that a customer texts us and they have no open quotes, they have no open support incidents. Where's the ticket supposed to go? Or where's that text supposed to go, rather? The system will create a ticket for them currently. That's what we've decided we wanted to do. It'll create a ticket because most of the time it's a support incident that they're needing. It'll create that ticket, but as the sales team looks at the ticket, if they realize, you know what, this wasn't a support issue, again, all they have to do is come here, move the ticket to sales, and that ticket will disappear for our support team. It will vanish, and an activity will get created here for the sales team. This has been an extremely efficient system. A lot of built-in intelligence in the system. Let me give you just a couple points to what Scott spoke earlier. If Scott earlier asked about what about emailing people on a holiday. Of course, I'm speaking about texting, but our system will sometimes text the customer back on its own. it will not text a customer on a holiday. And I'm going to show you how we prevented that here in a minute using the Deluge script. We can also handle attachments, which a lot of texting, which I shared with you earlier, if a customer texts the sales team, maybe they're like, I want to buy one of these, and they send a picture, which happens all the time. Or sometimes they don't know what they need, and they're showing us some pretty technical pictures of their implements, and they need to know how they can get a scale retrofitted on that. They'll send pictures to the sales team. Those pictures will appear right here in their activities. We also track every single text through a custom module in our CRM that we call the RC Text module. So I'm giving you an actual, this is our actual RC Text module, and you can see the text that we just sent from the ticket, and that the customer the customer sent us back. So we sent the sample text, and they sent us the response text back. That's all recorded in this module. This is kind of the one-stop shop for our agents when there's been some conversations with a customer and they need to track those conversations down. They can come in here and they can search by agent. If you remember in the ticket, I said I was going to choose to send that text and have that text come from my direct line at work. That's why this says agent. It was sent directly from the agent. So we can do some pretty hefty tracking of text, either from a specific agent or to a specific agent, or where they to or from the sales line, or did they deal with a specific quote or a specific support incident. That information is recorded in here. You can see, we've got some very specific IDs. We've got right here in the text, we can see every quote that we've ever done with that person. So if our sales team needs to come in and look at, boy, we got this text, but what is he talking about? They could just come here, click on the quote that is being referenced. Also, if we have a support incident, the ticket numbers are going to be recorded right in this RC text module, so that we can do, we have quite a bit of reporting and tracking ability with this texting system. One of the coolest features is that when a customer sends us a text, even though that text doesn't have their name in it, we still know who they are. Notice it says Troy Titus sent the following text. And that wasn't a reference to me. I set up this fake customer that you have up here, the fake contact. Their name is Troy Titus, and it knows that this text came from Troy Titus. Let me show you the meat and potatoes of this system really briefly. This is the actual code I wrote in Deluge to get that text to the right place, into the ticket, and to associate that text with the right contact. So the system does all of this for us. I don't want our agents to have to click a lot of extra buttons to create a comment in a ticket and say, I sent this customer a text. I want that to happen all automatic, because our support agents are very, very busy. And so I want to save them every single click that I can save them. So we created the system that everything happens automatically. The text comes in, it finds the right contact, it creates a ticket for that contact, or it adds the text to their open ticket if they already have one.
Right. That's great, Troy. Maybe you can show your contact details to the panel as well. So if they have any questions regarding Deluge, they can connect with you.
Yes.
Because
are we out of time?
Yeah. So guests are requesting if they can get into a question answer session.
Yeah, it is a very in-depth system, and I don't know how. I don't know if anyone is interested, but if you have functionality like this in your system using Zoho Deluge, you can do it. There are a lot of help articles that help you walk through that. Or if this is just, you would like to create some functionality, but it's just too much for you to get into writing Deluge, you can contact someone like me, and I can talk with you about what you're wanting to do and help you get that created in your system. So whether you don't want to email someone on a holiday or you have some other concern, you can meet that requirement using Zoho Deluge if there's not already some functionality in that. So here's my contact information. Give me a call or a text or an email. I would love to meet with you and just talk about all things Zoho and your how maybe we could help you out with a custom function, as it's sometimes called. Sometimes Deluge is called a custom function. Same thing.
Perfect, Troy. Thanks for the lovely session, Troy. It was pretty detailed on what Deluge can do.